This is James Lupton, delighted to be joined on Zoom today with Thomas Paull. Thomas, how are you?
Yeah, I'm really good. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much, Kelly. Obviously, we've got an interpreter today, Kelly here, who'll be assisting. You're a deaf MMA fighter. I wanted to go back to the beginning a little bit. And you was bullied as a child because you are deaf, but now you're inspiring the deaf community with your success in MMA. How did being bullied as a child shape the man you are today?
Really, that kind of showed me what life was all about. It taught me lessons from a young age, really. It made me realize how I need to stand up for myself. Yeah, it kind of just got to take what's given to me and ride with it, really.
So how did you get into MMA or combat sports in general?
Really, I was quite late joining MMA. I should have joined the MMA world much earlier, really, but um, I started enjoying different football, rugby, different sports, and then joined MMA later. But MMA allowed me to show my true colours, and that was my passion really, and kind of realised what I could achieve in that sport.
There are two other deaf competitors with the UFC, Matt Hamill and Askar Askarov. Do you take inspiration from them?
Yeah, Matt Hamill. I've heard of him. Yeah, um, he was the first deaf MMA fighter to get into the UFC, and of course that's a massive inspiration. And that kind of made me realize that yeah, if he can do it, anybody can do it. There was nothing like that back in the day. He was the actual first, and we actually have been speaking, um, but realized that the pathway into the UFC is so difficult. It's difficult for anyone, even more difficult for deaf fighters. So it's a like massive. It's massive for Matt to be in there and kind of show people with any hearing loss really what can be done. Um, just proving to the deaf community, what people can do. But a lot of people haven't heard of him as well. So it's yeah, I think if you're in the fighting world, you'd know who he is.
Now, within the fighting world, you was on Dana White's The Contender series. What was that experience like?
Oh wow, it's just amazing. Like I just said, Matt Hamill being in the UFC, being the first, it was so hard for him to go into that pathway and to think that I was just almost there, just one more step. I was so close. Oh damn, yeah. It's definitely made me want to go back. It's still obviously you know, an ambition of mine and I want to get in there and stay put. But to go in there, um, from the UK and kind of wave the flag for the deaf community. That's amazing.
You've just mentioned there you want to go back. It makes you want to go back again. Does it make you more hungry, falling slightly short this time around?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'm not a kind of 9 to 5 person either. The fighting world is where I want to be. And just to see the levels of progression within the fighting world as well. Um, that's definitely for me. The UFC is my passion. It's kind of the only aim that I have right now. That's my future. That's my destiny, and that's where I need to be.
Currently, you're out in Thailand. Recently, we saw Darren Till and Mohamed Mokaev in Thailand, amongst other MMA stars who have trained out there. What is it about Thailand that makes the training so different?
It's Thailand. what can you say about Thailand? It's just it's brilliant. It's an amazing place. But and don't forget my home's like it's cold, it's raining. Thailand's just it's brilliant. It's brilliant weather, and you've got the beach and everything as well. Okay, so yeah, sorry. My first point is about the weather. Of course, it's amazing, but obviously that's not the main reason. The gyms here are awesome. We've got loads of venues. The space in those gyms are massive, and the training itself. You've got fighters that come from all over the world, so nobody's the same. Everybody's got different styles. People as far as Russia and other countries all over Europe, people will come and compete against one another. So it's really interesting to watch their skill set, their styles. Everybody's kind of unique, so it's really good to kind of pick up on people's training and skills. Back home, you kind of know the fighter styles. So over here, with people coming from all over the world, you don't know what you're going to be presented with. It's really interesting to watch people's styles. And I think you can kind of progress and improve quickly because you're picking up on those different techniques as well. So that's why fighters love it out here.
You've just mentioned the different styles.
Oh, sorry, James, just one more. I just need to add one more thing to this. And there's another reason, of course. Oh, so and it ends up in Thailand, like it's so easy to fight over here. Like if I wanted to fight tomorrow, it'd be booked and I'm fighting tomorrow. It's just so easy to get fights booked in.
Why is that important to you? Why is learning different styles, what advantage does that give you over other fighters?
Yeah, like you learn so much from them. Kind of gives you a bigger picture in like whoever my next contender, whoever my opponent may be. It gives me a bit of kind of background. I can kind of judge their style a bit better and utilize the new skills that I've learned to have an advantage over them. Kind of change tactics a little bit, so it's definitely beneficial.
Now, Jake Paul has brought a large number of eyes and new fans to the boxing world. He will be working in the MMA world with PFL. Do you think that's a good thing for MMA moving forward?
Oh, I think 100% it's good for MMA. The more publicity and the more followers, the more people learning about the world, that's beneficial to us all. Definitely got no complaint over that. His boxing style, well, whatever, but he's bringing attention to the MMA world, so I completely respect that. I love that. We need that type of publicity. We need people like him to raise our profile. Um, that's definitely what we need. Um, yeah, it's worth it. I mean, yeah, definitely.
With boxing, Jake Paul has made a point about the paychecks in the UFC, and he wants to increase that. What are your thoughts on the MMA paychecks? And could Jake Paul increase these for fighters?
Oh, yeah, no, I think 100%. Like again, Jake Paul has that kind of publicity and can raise a profile, and getting that attention and those supporters and followers is I think will help increase that type of pay. But he can't criticize it yet because he's not there. He's not in the MMA world as yet. So that will come later, I suppose, when you're talking about finances.
And just finally, the ultimate goal for all MMA fighters is to compete in the UFC. You've already mentioned that today, but just how much would that mean to you?
It would change my life, definitely. Um, I'm like literally walking into my dream, being in the UFC, and achieving that and living that life, fighting for the UFC. I mean, finding out like fighting for Dana White is just amazing. So, um, and also, the travel opportunities that come with being part of the UFC. It's like two birds with one stone, isn't it? You get to fight, you get to compete. You're in the UFC, and you get to travel the world as well. So,
Fantastic. Well, Thomas, Kelly, thank you both for your time today. I really appreciate it. It's been great speaking to you.